guys, I'm Charlie Book Fanatic, and today I'm back with the books I did not finish video. So I'm going to say I'm really easy with not finishing books. Like, if I don't feel like I want to finish a book, if I don't like a book, I will immediately put it down and consider it did not finish. Like, when I don't feel the urge to read on, I won't. I'm like, I have no time to waste in reading books I do not like and I feel I do not like, and that's what you're going to see in the books I did not finish. So I'm going to name the books I did not finish, and I'm going to explain my reason for that to you as well as I can. The first book I'm going to mention is Special Topics in Calamity Physics by Marisha Pessl. There was nothing really wrong with this book, except for the fact I read The Secret History by Donna Tartt right before I started this book, and it's basically a rip-off for their book. And then I read some reviews for Special Topics in Calamity Physics, and other people noticed the similarities as well, so that was quite funny. And I was like, no, I didn't even like this book. Secret History was way better, so I just dropped it, I guess. I couldn't go on with it. I didn't enjoy it, and it was a total rip-off of The Secret History. Like, don't read those two books after each other, because that was a fault on my part. But yeah, I was quite sad about that, because I love Marisha Pessl's other work, Night Film. Like, it's one of my favourite books ever. But yeah, I just didn't want to read her other book. The second book is Black Dahlia, the first book in the LA Quartet by James Ellroy. I borrowed this book from the library and started to read it on a whim, but after a few pages I just put it down and I was like, this is not for me. So yeah, that's why I did not finish it. Third book, don't even mention that. The third book is The Outcasts, which is the first book in the Brotherband Chronicles by John Flanagan, I think his name is. Yeah, it is. This series is a spin-off series from another series by... so many series by John Flanagan, but I didn't read the other series, so I just started this book, and it is about sailors, I guess. I don't know, rowing. A lot of rowing was involved. I read this book and there were so many sailing terms. I was just like, what is this book? I'm just not interested in sailing at all, or rowing, or whatever the hell they were doing in that book. And I just put it down, was like, nope, I'm not going to read the other series. I think it was the Apprentices or something like that. I don't even know. But yeah, not interested in that at all. It's a middle grade series, by the way, so if you're interested in it, you can go check it out. I'll link it down below, but it was not for me. Then the fourth book is This Is What Happy Looks Like, which is the first book in the This Is What Happy Looks Like series, trilogy, duology, I don't even know, by Jennifer E. Smith. I think I was 100 pages into this book when I put it down. It was just way too juvenile for me. I couldn't get into it. I know some people really like this book. It's about a boy, a celebrity named Graham, who is emailing on accident with this girl in a town, and she tells him where she lives or something, and he comes to her town to film a movie or something like that. And it was way too juvenile for me, and I couldn't get into it at all. The main character really annoyed me, and I didn't want to go on with the story. Then I read The Last Kingdom, which is the first book in the Saxon stories by Bernard Cornwell. I think this is historical fiction, I think, about the Danes. And I didn't get that far into this, and I enjoyed it while I read it. But after I put it down, I wasn't compelled to pick it back up, and I never did, and I'm not planning on actually reading it, because it's quite a thick book. It's a long series as well, and I'm not that committed to it. Then I have quite a controversial one, and I don't want to get hate comments for this, but I don't know, maybe I want to give it another chance, but I'm talking about The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I picked this up before I started BookTube, before I even started watching BookTube, and I was like, this is so cool looking, I just want this. And then I bought the sequel, The Wise Men's Fear, as well, which are really thick books both, by the way. But I just couldn't get into it. Like, I read, I think 100 pages of this, and it was just so slow going. I couldn't get through it. The pacing was really slow, and it was just this man telling his life story, and I was just not interested in that. Since then, I've seen a lot of good reviews about this book, so maybe I will give it another chance, but for now, I think I'm going to unhaul it sometime soon, as well as obviously the sequel, because I don't need the sequel. I don't need these on my take up space on my shelf if I'm not going to read them anyway. And the last book I'm going to talk about is actually a poetry collection by Charles Bukowski, which is called You Get So Alone at Times That It Just Makes Sense. And when I started to read this, which is not that long ago, I think last month, the month before that, I wanted to start reading more poetry, so I picked up something by Charles Bukowski, not knowing anything about him at the time. I just saw him somewhere on a book buying site, and I was like, yeah, I want to read that. So I started reading some poems, and I got into it more and more. But the poems were really weird. I didn't even consider them to be poetry. It was just so weird. It was all about, but it was really sexist in a way. And I was like, who enjoys this? I don't enjoy this. Why am I reading this? So I got really grossed out, because this was all about alcohol and drugs, I think, even, and then these sexist remarks. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to read this. I'm not signing up for this. So I dropped it. And I'm glad I did. Those were the 7 books I did not finish. Let me know down below which books you did not finish, or if you have read any of the books I just mentioned and enjoyed them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!